Okay, the thing about hobosexuals is it's not that they don't have money. It's how they spend it. I understand that some of us are born into way more privilege, class privilege, white privilege, able-bodied, all the things, right? And what I have found is that a lot of hobosexuals will use classism as a way to manipulate women and shame women who have money, whether they come from money or not. Women who have money, have things, have their own apartment. They use classism to make those women feel bad about having those things, to judge those women, and to prey on their empathy or any guilt or shame that they may have about having money. So this is part 2 about the hobosexuals and why they're so dangerous, and basically men who exploit women, especially their finances, through gaslighting, manipulation, and all kinds of things. Men who are parasites. And even though Izzy has a home, if you don't know Love is Blind and you haven't seen it, good for you. Don't waste your time. I'm just going to show you some examples of a way that a man will manipulate women into dating down so that they then can be parasites and just feed off those women and suck them dry. They are vampires. And I'm going to show you how this guy did it. Actually, I have a whole nother video I want to make about all the lies this man told and how you can look out for this stuff. But let's just talk about his home, because technically he has a home. I'm not convinced that he actually lives in this home. Some people have been theorizing that he got it on Airbnb, or that it's, his ex decorated it. But before I get into that, the reason why I can see right through this is because I dated a hobosexual who did not come from as much privilege as I came from, didn't have a college degree, wasn't middle class. And this man also, like me, came from a lot of childhood trauma, a lot of abuse, but he didn't deal with it. And so he was a literal hobo. Like, that's what he called himself. He rode the rails. That's what he said, rode the rails for 9 years. He was a parasite. And the person that he preyed on the most is any woman who would believe his BS. And this man used every possible trick to play on my trauma responses and me giving him the benefit of the doubt and all my daddy issues and all of my, he preyed on, like, he was a genius when it came to preying on all my weak spots. The other reason why I feel very qualified to talk about this is because I literally lived in my car. I literally lived in a truck or an SUV for over 5 years. And then I moved back into it. I did not have my first real bed. It wasn't like a mattress on the floor until I was like 34. And some of that is because it was like adventurous stuff. I worked in outdoor adventure. They don't pay well. You kind of are nomadic and have to follow the work, and you really can't afford an apartment because you're never there and you're having to move all the time. Part of it was I really couldn't afford it because of the jobs that I was doing. A lot of people who go into that kind of thing are rich. They have super rich parents who pay their phone bills, pay their health insurance, pay like whatever. And when they get tired of it, they just move on and then get like a mansion. It's just a phase, And then there's people like me who had a lot of my childhood trauma was tied to someone having financial control over me. And I know that Izzy, this dude I'm about to talk about, clearly has religious trauma. Clearly has a lot of, family trauma. I think he didn't even know who his biological father was, and then he found out about, he didn't even go into it much. Being a Jehovah's Witness, I have a friend who was a Jehovah's Witness, and getting her out of that cult, and then literally like unforking her brain took a long time. Ask anyone who's been in a cult on this app, anyone who was indoctrinated deep into like Christianity. It is trauma. He was in a cult. So even when I moved out of my truck, I wouldn't unpack. I lived in Tupperware containers within my apartment in New York City. I never unpacked anytime I moved into any place because I didn't feel safe in my home, and I was always ready to go. I didn't feel like I deserved a good bed. I didn't feel like, you know what I mean? It's a mindset a lot of times. And so at the very least, even if Izzy is just really healing his trauma, which I do not believe he is based on the way he reacts to any kind of conflict, even if I'm wrong about all this about Izzy, this right here is a huge red flag. After I left an abusive relationship and got an apartment in LA, I did not have money to decorate this apartment. Every single thing I bought from the Goodwill or Salvation Army until I realized how terrible they are. Every single thing. Did you know that it's actually cheaper to buy really nice used plates at any Goodwill than it is to buy these? Like, you could buy $1 plates. And this stuff is expensive. This is a huge red flag because of the mindset. So either this dude has a really messed up mindset, or he doesn't really live here, or he is not at home within himself. There is nothing personal in this whole apartment. Like, I love that he has this giant spoon, but no actual spoons and cutlery. You know, all plastic, which is also very environmentally irresponsible. Like, dude, do you know how long, like, this cup is gonna be here for like 500 years? Like, anyway, I don't believe he put this there. It either came with the place or an ex-girlfriend did that. I don't believe that he put this here. Like, seriously, my guess, based on what I know from my own trauma, if you have not dealt with trauma that was in the home, and you do not feel safe in your home, you will not have a safe home. You will have a weird home that feels not safe because you are not used to a safe home. You're going to keep recreating that. That also means you're probably not feeling safe in this home that your soul resides inside, which is why I also would let just any terrible man literally inside me before I went celibate for like many, many years. I don't believe he put that there. Like, the dude, we know this man lies about everything, but he claims he never lies, but he literally lies to her about so many things. I don't believe he put that there. I don't believe anything about that apartment other than him being a guest there. Even if he does live there, the fact that he doesn't have a single picture of even his mom, has nothing personal in that apartment except for a lost and found full of the women that he has forked, things they've left behind, like a literal serial unaliver, like tokens, rings, bobby pins, all kinds of stuff, and he keeps it and refuses to throw it away. Everything about that apartment screams like sociopath or just straight up liar, or at the very least, somebody with a lot of trauma who is not dealing with it and does not feel safe in his home or in his body. Maybe I'm projecting, but given Izzy's past, and he hasn't really talked about how he's really healed it, we know that he really wanted to hang out with Johnny, whatever. As soon as she was talking about her family, like, oh, I can't wait to join that. I've always been wanting that. The man wants a safe home, he wants a safe family, but he can't create that for himself, and therefore he's a parasite. This is why men like this, like, move in right away. And the thing is that because of patriarchy and the way that patriarchy works, the way that it also conditions women to be enablers of men and to take care of men as if they're our child and do unconditional love, which is all Izzy wants. He literally says it multiple times. I just want to be unconditionally loved. I just want to love me for me, how I am right now. That's not how it works, buddy. No woman you date should ever give you unconditional love. Only like babies get that. And my dog pisses me off all the time and holds me hostage in this house because he's got so much anxious attachment, blah, blah, blah. And yet I love him unconditionally. I always will. This man was not trying to impress her. That's what I find concerning. He's like, left his shoes on the bed. Y'all, I am, like, my husband calls me Tornado Rainbow. I am a mess. Contained chaos. Like this, I can totally relate to you, Izzy. Just a bunch of this is also how hobosexuals live. Just, you know, whereas like, where Anthony is like, everything is perfectly folded and beautiful. Like his mom taught this man how to do laundry and fold it well. Still don't know how to do it well. I love that for me, especially because I'm a woman and I'm supposed to know how to do it and I'm supposed to do his. I do mine, he does his own. But even I know not to do this. This man knew that his future wife was coming over to see his apartment and that he would be judged as he should be, as he's judging her. Although this was his reaction in her place. Wow! Oh my God, this is gonna be mine. 85-inch TV screen. She was like, yeah, if you pay for it. But he knew she was coming over. He cleaned up the place and left the lost and found and shoes on the bed. If we're gonna get married, I'm not gonna hold anything back from you. And that is his running line through the whole relationship. You have to love me as I am. I'm not gonna hold anything back from you. I'm being me. Don't you love me? Am I not good enough for you? All of that is to make her feel bad for judging the way he lives, for not expecting him to change. And so that it can seem like he's really honest, when in reality, the dude is lying about a lot.